Hello and welcome to round 2 action of Super Rugby Next Gen as we bring you to Ballymore Stadium in Brisbane for a traditional rivalry like no other. The Queensland Reds and the New South Wales Waratahs on a very wet and dreary Sunday afternoon. Great to have your company once again across Rugby.com, Stan Sport and our digital platforms as well. Jordan Hughes with you in commentary alongside a man who knows his clash very well, Red and Wallaby, Liam Wright.
And this is the one we've all been looking forward to, Geordie. Queensland versus New South Wales, especially after the season opener of between the two on Friday night. There will be no love lost in this battle.
As you mentioned, in the top grade, the Reds, they went down to the Tars. So can the under-20s get one back for the man from Queensland? It's going to be a very enticing matchup. And as we see, there is a rain around on the forecast. 21 degrees is how it stands. A bit of wind to contend with as well. But the Ballymore track normally holds up pretty well.
Yeah, it does. It probably won't show on the video as well, but it's a wet pitch out there. We probably might not get as much razzle-dazzle as we did last week, especially in that Tars game, but it will be a highly contested affair and some classic rugby being played. Of
course, these two sides open their account in a positive manner, getting big results. The Tars 97-5 over the Force last week, and the Reds 47-31. But how's this a response yesterday? The Western Force, after conceding 90 points, Liam, they bounce back and win 32-19 over the Brumbies.
And those are the type of turnarounds you want to see as a coach. We said there's a really strong coaching group of that Western Force Next Gen squad. And the Brumbies, who were pretty impressive for probably the first 50, 60 minutes in that game against the Reds last week, just couldn't hold up against them.
So in that game yesterday, it was 15-12 in the 75th minute, and then in 5 minutes later, it was 32-19. So the Force finished with a flourish, and they get a big-time win for their campaign. And as we turn our attention now to the two sides today, the Reds, they are full of momentum and virtually a pretty unchanged lineup, but there's a key in that number 10 jersey.
Yeah, there sure is. Dre Pacquiao coming at number 10. Hasn't played a whole lot of 10, but very good at guiding that team around. The other big inclusions are John Grenfell, wearing the vice-captaincy armband as well at number 2. He's making a big return from injury. And Tyner Graham coming in at 6, replacing last week's captain, Tom Robertson.
Got the Waratahs on screen now, and there is plenty of last names you will recognise. Far Jones, Fittler, but they are headlined by their big Pat. Edward Lungi, look out for him, the number 3, to really set the tone up front. Isaac Fanua, another dangerous runner of the ball. But the fly half, Liam, Harrison Dean, he's not a big man, but he's a crafty playmaker.
No, and he made a lot of good decisions last week of when to pull the ball from his forwards and when to get the ball out wide. We spoke a lot in that Queensland versus Brumbies game as well around the importance of the 10s making the right decisions, pushing them around the field. And Harrison Dean was excellent in that game, leading to 15 tries for his side.
Now the key matchup here, the worth the price of admission, the battle of the inside centres. Zach Fittler, he's abrasive, he's a big body, up against Trayvon Pritchard, who's slightly a more thinner frame, but has all the skills, and this matchup is going to be very exciting.
Yeah, well, Trayvon's first try last week was, we talk about a smaller frame, but he's still got that absolute strength. He brushed off 3 or 4 defenders to make a clean break, and then still had the strength to go through the fullbacks. But Zach Fittler put himself in the right place for a try as well last week. Probably that more traditional, bigger carrying centre. Be great to see who gets some strong go forward for their team, especially in the wet.
Trayvon Pritchard, 12 defenders beaten last week. He's just been an absolute revelation with ball in hand. But here's one for you, Liam. Nick Liner on one wing up against Tom Farr-Jones on the other two. Legendary last names going toe-to-toe.
Oh, it sure is. It is the battle of the heritage there. And a bit of a shift for Nick Liner, who's probably more in that 10 fullback role. But with a few key outs there, Tom Howard as well, who's another last name we know very, very well, will come into that fullback and guide around that back 3 for the Reds.
So kickoff not far away in this one. The Reds and the Waratahs trying to keep up their winning standards in Super Rugby Next Gen. Looking at the Super Rugby over the weekend, what's caught your eye? It's been exciting?
It has been exciting. It's good to have it back, firstly. There's a lot of positive talk about rugby. I guess the big one, and especially when we talk about this game, is the improved performance of the Tars this season. And you can see that's probably Dan McKellar's second year coming in. A lot more of his rhythm is showing, and just the simple things done well. Nothing too fancy apart from Max Jorgensen's wonderful footwork, but simple things done well.
On your side, the Reds down on cattle, but obviously got some work to do as well.
Yeah, they are. That was a tough one, but you could see the ingenuity that came. Tim Ryan's try, Joe Bryle's try, came off some really good turnover and counter-attack, which is what Les Kiss prides himself on and wants his team to run. They're obviously going to want to get back to doing the basics right as well. The maul didn't fire as well as we usually expect for the Queensland Reds, but they will receive some cattle. They've got the bye this week, and so they'll be hoping to turn up in round 3.
But it's all about next gen. That same rivalry as the youngsters look to light it up here at Ballymore. And there's that man we spoke about in the pre-game. Zach Fittler, power, strength, always sets the tone. 11 tackles last week, so he's strong in contact. Look for him for a big showing today.
Yeah, he will. And you can see that size that we're talking about. He's just built out. And this whole next-gen competition, there's a few 20-year-olds or above 20s put in the mix. But for the most part, these are young men ready to show what they can do, trying to make the Oz 20s, which has their first camp early April. But also for those guys like Dre Pacquiao, Trevor King, Charlie Brosnan, Huey Sharples on the tar side as well that are slightly over that age group, trying to impress for contracts.
Absolutely. And there's one man you wouldn't expect to see him playing in this competition, Dre Pacquiao. He's playing in number 10. Has he played much fly half in your time?
He's done a lot of backup roles as fly half. He's been ready to fill in there at need, but no, I haven't seen him actually pull on that 10 jersey, at least from the start. He normally fills in at 12 and perhaps a few injuries he can slide in there. Very skillful player, but also very direct as well, so it'll be interesting to see how he balances those parts of his game.
Ella Goldsmith is in control of this one, and we are away. The Reds and the Waratahs, next gen Super Rugby here in Brisbane on a Sunday afternoon. The Maroon taking on the Sky Blue. It's always a good battle. We love to see as the Tars will have first serve and they'll bang it away through blank. Good charge coming forward and ball taken from the top there from Howard, the man from the University of Queensland. So now the Reds will go about their work. Looking to spark something on the inside. It's a good, powerful, abrasive run up there from Graham, his first start. Left-hand side for Ross, now plays out to that man we spoke about, Dre Pacquiao. In the Aussie 20s last year, Pritchard gets it away to the offload for Howard, tries to get the fend pumping. Back on the inside is absolute beauty. That's all taken there from Kelly. So now here come the Reds. There's Trayvon in for first receiver, gets charged down and gets to recollect. So now Trayvon from a standing start where he does his best work. Now picking and going from close quarters are the Reds. Keeping it tight in the opening 60. Taking it in reverse there was Tony Graham, and now Pacquiao plays at the back door for Pritchard, who gets jammed. Need to take away his time and space, and they did that. Pacquiao crunched right in front of the 22. Good line speed from the Waratahs early on. Bowman waiting for it. Now finds Ross. Aussie 18s rep last year. Pritchard, first receiver again. Trying to find some structure early on here, other Reds. Ace is waiting for it. Big Kingsley Ace. Goldsborough. His first carry of today, and he's crunched by his opposite number, Leo Jux. Wave after wave, the Reds maintain possession, but not making many meters for the time being. As we approach 2 minutes gone, Pritchard, quick recycle to Pacquiao. Now for Goldsborough. As Dean wraps him up and it pops out the front door there from Pacquiao, and they turn it over. So after all that, the Reds cough it up. And now the Waratahs, their first chance of ball in hand. Back into the pocket they go through Dean. Leans on that kick and tries to find some good territory. And it'll bobble its way inside the 22 as Liner's back there. He fires it into the stands. We'll set up for our first set piece of the afternoon.
Well, what an excellent opening phase of play from both sides. The Reds will be happy with that general phase attack, choosing the right times to go down the blind side, and the forwards getting some good work. Number of carries already from Tanner Graham, as well as Trayvon Pritchard and Dre Pacquiao in the backs. But as well, New South Wales surviving a really good set there and ending up with that net gain that they've seen.
So Tyler Mayberry, the Randwick club, his first assignment goes over the fingertips there with Fanua, but Blank is there to scoop it up. Bit messy at the base there was Cleverly. 3 tries last week for the big number 6. Hill, Aussie 20 rep last year. The Waratahs, what can they offer in attack now? Fittler, his first carry. The Reds trying to get up in the face and cause some headaches early on. Dean stabs it away. And probing forward is Cleverly once more. Fanua this time, out of the King's School, a rugby nursery in Sydney. Fittler runs straight over the top there of Kenny Harris. Now the back door they go. Dean. Good pass away to Jarks. He's strong in contact as well, and he rolls inside the 22. Hill. Trying to strike, but that one's ripped away there from Tucker. And the Reds now, they would look to return serve. So both sides showing some defensive prowess early on as Liner chips over the top. Far Jones gets a charge down, toes it ahead. Tucker's back there, and he will win the race. And the Ella Goldsmith, our referee, didn't say that one's taken back, so we'll come for the 5.
And nearly a good escape there. Ty Tucker getting a great strip as we watch it here in the contact on Big Nick Hill. The ball's going to be wet. We're going to expect plenty of that up in tight. But probably what we've seen, Geordie, especially in this first opening round of Super Rugby so far, is teams getting punished when they overplay in the wrong areas of the field, especially with this wet. See the Reds there trying to put a lot of phases together back in the Tars half. Once they mess it up, that kick goes long, you're really going to pay for that, and your defence is going to have to work hard, as we just see there as well.
It's going to be on full display right now. The Reds on their own try line. As Blaine gets the feed now, peeling off right hand side. Does a crunch straight towards the chalk. Just held short there was Big Bryle. Now picking and going, and there's the score. The momentum too much for the Reds to maintain. And it will be the Waratahs with first points on the board. It looks to be big Aaron Brennan coming up with it.
A great try there off the back of a really nice carry from Toby Bryle. Dre Paquejo is probably not the number 10 he's used to running at there. He put on that big shot, but it's far too hard, especially with the scrum going backwards, for the Reds forwards to regroup and get in the way there of big Aaron Brennan. You can see just that fold doesn't come. Angus Kelly parks up on that blind side. Grain can't get there quick enough. We spoke about the strength of Pritchard, but no match for Brennan right there.
He's a tall man, but he got very low on that occasion. Just pumped the legs and did enough for the opening 5. As Dean looks to add 2 more. Pushes that one. Score remains 5-0, 6 minutes gone.
Yeah, nonetheless, the Reds will be happy with that start as we have another look at the try. Toby Bryle, that's a very good carry. Brennan just waiting for that ball to come out. He knew he was only going one direction. As you say, when you don't have those forwards or the backs have to come in who aren't used to defending that pick and go area, very hard to stop a low forward, even when they're as tall as Brennan.
Back moving once more. So it's the Sky Blue with a positive start in this Origin-like encounter. There's Ace. Gets a big-time win. Big Kingsley bullies the Waratahs pack.
And that's a great entrance into the game for Kingsley Ace. Known for his big bollocking carries. But that's the defence he wants to show. We spoke about how slippery it can be in contact in conditions like this. Just watch both props in there. Levi Slater getting a good hit, but Ace just driving those legs, wrapping that ball up, making it hard to exit at any pressure. And 2 new hookers this week, Geordie. John Grenfell coming in for the Reds, Tyler Mayberry coming in for the Tars. Be interesting to see how they control their scrums.
The feed from Bowman, it spills out straight away for Pritchard, who plays at the back door for Paquejo with that second option. And does what he does best and takes a tough carry. So Pritchard at first receiver, puts a little grubber in behind. It's probably not the play they're after. And the Waratahs are there to save the day. And now they look to exit here. They'll keep it tight. It's up the platform through the try scorer of Brennan. So Blank back into the pocket for Dean and wastes no time. And skies it away. And play the line out there.
Probably wish you could have that option again, Trayvon. See plenty of numbers in the backfield there. You see Dean coming past. I think it must be Fenwick out the back as well. Tom O'Hara there as well. But you can see with the Tars rush defence, we saw it a lot last week how effective it is. It makes it even harder in the rain for that attacking side to get the ball past that rush defender.
Yeah, taking that from Ross as Pritchard has to reach for that one. Wearing number 26, but playing inside centre. Trayvon. So Bowman Get things going again through the new man, Grenfell. Eager for a start today as Kingsley Ace goes through the middle. Big Kingsley on the charge, flicks out the back door for Bowman. Needs some support. Slater arrives in Kingsley again for his second carry. Now shifts it away nicely there to Harris. So the Reds looking to respond. Left-hand side, Pritchard. Pakeho holds it up nicely. Liners through. And Nick Liner will get the response for the Reds.
That's a brilliant try. Set up by our big man, number 1. We were talking about before, Kingsley Ace. The penalty given away there by the Tars, number 7, Marshall Lemaitre, for no release. As we see here, no clear release in the tackle from ref Ella Goldsmith, and Kingsley just jumps over the top of his own man, goes straight through the middle. A great offload to Alfie Bowman, but it's this next phase which is really good from him. Very tempting for that number 1 to just take the carry himself, but tries to spread the ball, get those Tars defence moving, and that's when it's the little passes that come. Makes it hard for that shooter to read the right play and creates those seams.
And you've got the kicking duties as well. Nick Liner hits it, and hits it well. And the Reds have the lead. 7 points to 5, 10 gone. And that's the playmaking ability that Dre has right there. Just holds it up nicely, and a good line there from his winger as well. It
sure is. You can see on this next phase, it's just those smaller passes. When they've gone out the back too much, you can just see those tight ones there. You've got Liner coming up, you've got Howard on that outside. Gives Dre 2 options, makes it hard for that shooter to pick.
Pakeho takes the restart nicely. So it's game on here in Brisbane. Both sides looking to continue their winning streak. Of course, no finals in this tournament, so this game is must win. Now from the back fence, Luke Fenwick. 4 line breaks he made last week. He's dangerous with ball in hand, but not this time. He gets wrapped up and swallowed up by the Reds.
Frankie Goldsborough there, wearing the captain's armband today. Coming in off the back of a great tackle by number 8, Angus Kelly, who was impressive last week as well. Just wrapping up that ball. The strength, Frankie is one of those people who's just so strong in that contact area. He gets the wrap there. Will Ross comes in, Kenneth Harris comes in, and that ball is not going anywhere.
Pritchard set to the left here, Pakeho to the right. They go to Pritchard at first receiver, and plays at the back to Pakeho. Holds up nicely there for Liner, and now Howard off his left foot. As the Reds get a bit tricky with it. Ross hit very hard. Around the hips. Now for Pritchard, holds up again to Pakeho. Now he puts on the jet shoes, back on the inside of Bowman. He dummies Alfie Bowman. And did he drop that? Yes, he did. A little bobble on the way down there from Bowman. But all of a sudden, the Reds are finding some momentum here.
You can see exactly what they're looking for. Whilst the Tars forwards are getting some great hits on their big men in front, they're still getting the quick recycle. We can see that shooter, Sam Blaine, comes out of the line. Trayvon takes that dummy just at nice time. Gets it to Pakeho. It does the right option back to Bowman. Despite the end result, they'll be very happy with that, the Reds Next Gen.
So the Bricknicians playing their part on that occasion. The Waratahs will be eager to exit here. Blank gets it away and finds the big body through Fittler. And chopped around the legs nicely there from Pritchard. And now going straight through the middle, the pick and go from the skipper. Trying to find some support on the outside, finds it, and now the Waratahs, one-on-one contest, Jarks with the fend on Howard, but he tracked down nicely there from Howard. Inside the 5, Jones tries to scoop it up. But Goldsmith goes full arm, and maybe the pocket here.
That's cynical, you're diving off the ball. Line break.
Pat Howard, Tom Howard, thought that might have been going to him. What a great covering tackle. It's a man we spoke about pre-game, John Grenfell, who's going to go for 10 minutes on the edge. And through the middle is exactly where it is. Lemaitre taking tips off Kingsley Ace on the other side before. And how well does he do here? Reads the 2-on-1 situation, draws in liner, slows up his speed enough so that Jacques can get there and add pace to the ball. But this is a great tackle.
A try-saving effort in the end there from Howard. And then the Waratahs make a meal of this opportunity as well.
Yeah. You've come all the way around in front of the jumper.
You can hear there a great explanation from ref Ella Goldsmith. The lifters on that maul particularly are not allowed to close off access from the defenders to get to that jumper. Not sure if we'll see a replay, but front lifter, I think she's targeted there. As we look again at the tackle, Sharks is no slow man. Howard does a great job to get to his feet, but equally Taylor Maybury, the hooker from the New South Wales, does a great job to get there in time and save it for his team. So we watch here, Toby Brawl and Edwin Lungy there probably both getting pinged, just closing that gap off.
The Kingsley ace forced to have the throwing duties.
First knock on by Blue in the line out. First come here.
It wasn't special, but the lucky escape with the knock on from the Waratahs.
On in the line out. Come. Okay,
It'll be interesting to see who goes off here.
Gonna come off.
John Grenfelder, number 2, sitting in the naughty chair right now. Charlie Hollyman will come on for the Reds.
And who's going to come? 7? Did you say 7? Thanks.
And that's Cluter there, the Reds number 7, who'll not be too happy about having to take a 10-minute rest.
Mark up you guys here. Thanks. That one.
It's early involvement for Charlie Hollyman.
Yeah, Blue have 15. It's Reds who had the yellow. Crouch! Bind! Turn up. We need more space. More space, okay? Okay, you set, no, they'll set off you. Yep. More space this side, please. Keep your break.
It's just the dark arts of the front row. They're trying to get any ascendancy they can, especially in these wet conditions.
So clean release there for Bowman, who finds Pritchard now. Good face. Ball on the outside as Howard offers the pass to Tucker, has to go back looking for it. Tyrone Tucker. Another big body in the outside backs of the Queensland Reds. As Harris has to scoop it up there for the Reds. Maintaining possession just for the time being as Bowman's seen enough. Wants to go up and away. Fenwick, centre field now. Looking for options as Dean can't find any. We'll take the hit about 8 away from halfway. Maybury again, trying to find some composure here, the Waratahs. Started so well. On the back foot for a moment. They're playing against 14 though, so now's a chance to strike. Jux, but Pritchard coming forward, and Pritchard flies high, and now beats out of a couple of defenders on the way through. Eventually gets to deck, Trayvon Pritchard. Bowman. Harris, good tip pass over the top. Pakeho, one more now to Liner. That's a forward pass. Referee going to say player, no, she won't. And we'll come all the way back. Good call in the end.
Good call. She was tempted to leave that. She was checking what her touchy was saying, but a good call. Definitely forward from the commentary box. But how about this take from Trayvon Pritchard? Then just adding numbers to his defender's beaten tally. That is just incredible one-on-one skills. Well done there by Kenneth Harris as well, recognising where the space is, getting the ball to his number 10. But that is where that shooter defence, especially in the wet, where you have to have 1 or 2 takes more than you normally would to catch that ball, can just be so effective at forcing those errors.
Jess Ling on that far touchline, the assistant. Good call coming from her as well. So we'll come back for a scrum for the Tars, just shy of halfway. As we approach 19 minutes gone in this first half. What a spectacle it's been so far. As Blank Finds Dean. He wants to just plug the corner. And that he does. Needs it to sit. It's going to bobble in the in goal. And Howard's going to go the kick. Banana Larkin will find the touchline right on the 22.
Now, he's got some pretty good purchase on that.
Reds on the 22, please.
Thought he'd go for the simple dot down, go the goal line drop out. Jeez, he's done well from a few metres into his own in goal to getting to that 22-metre line. And a great kicking option by Dene as well.
The mate drop, tips it away, and cleverly coughs that one up straight away.
Yeah, not too happy with that, the big loose forward. We saw how well the seam was run between Cleverly and Lemaitre last week, leading to at least one of his tries. Probably just a bit off topic there of whether he wanted him coming in on that short line or bouncing out. That's what they were discussing after the drop.
The Reds still playing a 14 for the time being. That one's a no-looker, but Pritchard has all the skills to scoop it up off his bootlaces. Now for Tucker, who's got a clean set of heels on the outside. Finds Goldsborough on the inside. He can't control it. Another chance goes begging for the Reds.
But how about that for some enterprising play out of the 22? Could see that the scrum was just outside, so they weren't going to kick it out on the full. Trayvon Pritchard coming from all the way on the other side. A really brave line by Frankie Goldsborough too to draw in the defenders, create the space for Tucker. And those are the ones that we would expect him to take, but in this weather, it's a lot harder than it looks.
It's a good play by his opposite number, Leo Jarks. He knew the pass was coming, he was right on him. And bided his time and came up with a big play.
Yeah, great timing there. Very tempting to grab a hold of him beforehand, isn't it, Geordie?
7-5 the score, 21.5 played in this first half.
Guys, let's come over here.
There's plenty of niggle in this contest as well.
Yep. Guys, there's no competition on the bind. Listening? No competition on the bind. Hold the space and wait until the ball is in, okay? And then you can push. Let's go. Fix it. Yep.
Yeah, the Reds front row not shying away despite only have 7 people in there. Likewise, big Edwin Lungy. He's been getting some good purchase on that tight head side. We'll be wanting to have a go here.
Sam Blank from the Ringer Rats in Sydney feeds it and gets it away nicely. Now looking to show some shape on the outside, other Waratahs. Back on the inside goes Far Jones. Jux there to help out over the top. Blank toes it forward. Now the race is on. O'Hara's in hot pursuit. But back there in cover is Howard to save the day. Time and time again. Number 15 for the Reds. They're on their own try line. They pick and go through Graham. And now he's into touch, and now the penalty goes to the Reds. No release the call.
You're off your feet, drag him out of play, please.
Yeah, strong defence initially, but you can just see those 2 separate motions. The tackle's made, then he proceeds to try and lift Graham up. See here, Jacques it is, strong tackle. You can see he's down there, he's stopped. Then comes that second motion where the penalty comes. Great work from the Tars Next Gen, 9 and 10, Sam Blank and Dean, getting themselves in the right areas of the field.
Charged down, but works out nicely there for the Reds, and big Ross can clean out the scraps. But it's stolen straight away. Looks to be Mayberry over the top.
It's a great steal. Could have been dangerous if play went on there. Mayberry getting himself all over that ball. This great charge down Toby Bryle. Falls right into the hands of Ross. Mayberry just gets himself in such a strong spot. Knew where he was going to fall. So welcome back John Grenfell to the field.
They've done well. No points conceded.
They have.
Charlie Hollyman will come back from the field. Kluter will make his return as well. But the Waratahs now looking to regain the lead here. Mayberry breaks off right-hand side. Hits out of a couple. And now rolls towards the chalk. Trying to find sign-off here.
I've got this as held up. Yeah. Hold up. Hold on.
And there's our call. Good defence from the Queenslanders.
And then I think it's held up in goal.
Yeah, very good defence as we watch him here. The maul defence very strong, as it always has been for the Queensland Next Gen side from last week. Mayberry getting off a few tackles, potentially held there, but makes himself go again. I think that's Angus Kelly again who's gotten underneath the ball.
The Waratahs still on attack as they chase their second score. Blank having a dart on the outside and finds no success through there as cleverly picks and goes from the back. But he makes another error. Does Big Luca.
14 minutes. Okay. I think that one's on the ball.
Luca Cleverly, who was probably one of the picks of Qatar's best last week with 3 tries. Yeah, his second error of the match. He won't be too happy, but he knows how to find himself back into a big game like this. Other one to note there is Kingsley Ace. Got a big tackle there early. Forced an error. The Tars coming out, and now he gets another good shot there under the ball, making his presence felt on the defensive side.
As the rain becomes a bit more heavy here in Brisbane. There's 2 points the difference. Through Bowman. Parkeo goes on to his left boot and plugs that one into the corner. Not a bad perch as well. A bobble into the arms of Harrison Dean. And you clear it away. Pritchard wants to go quickly. Of course he does for Trayvon. Now he clubs that one downtown. On bounce, scoop. Now shifting it to Fenwick. Looks for some option and goes skybound. Will chase it hard. Up towards Howard, who drops his marbles straight through the front door. His first error of the match for Tom Howard.
And probably the first real kicking battle we've seen of this match. You'd expect to see a little bit more in this weather, but that's the results that it can get from you. The pressure with Fenwick flying at you like that would have to be in your head. And an unfortunate drop there from Howard, who's been good so far this game. You can see both sides there. Parkeo and Dene is not wanting to concede in their own half and just put it down their end.
Short arm. So away go the Waratahs, hot on the attack. Jarks C was caught in 2 minds there, and Goldsborough gets him right under the ribs, and the ball goes flying. The Reds defence coming up. Trumps once again.
Yeah, that time for a huge tackle from Frankie Goldsborough. Leading from the front. Sharks trying to get his arms free, pop over the top to his fullback.
Keep that access to the jumper.
Goldsborough sees the ribs and takes shot.
It's a good matchup, those two, early on.
Yeah, absolutely. Both big frames, powerful, fast. Modern outside centres.
Burrell takes that one successfully, and now cleverly looking to bounce back, and that's a good charge on the number 6 inside the 22. He travels now around the corner. That's a beautiful ball across the face. Far Jones one-on-one, and chopped down nicely there from Howard.
Well, we talked about Cleverly finding his way back into the game. He always knows how to get a big moment out of it. That's a really strong carry, but equally, Tom Howard in defence has been extraordinary in the fullback position so far. One try saver for sure, and that's not far behind.
Going to take a moment here. Was
I've
that
got no
man?
foul play. If he's going to dip late into the contact, it's no foul play for me, even if he gets hit high. Okay? That's how I saw it, yeah. Everyone just keeps screaming at me for it, so yeah, thanks.
Some good captaincy there by Marshall Lemaitre.
Cleverly getting some attention on that shoulder.
So we look back at the run. After a couple early errors, he brushes off the tackle, takes a couple more with him,
Let's go, water up.
reloads that ball back quickly.
Water up, please.
It's exactly what you want to see from your big men.
No. I'll call time on when everyone's set. I'll wait till everyone's set. Time back on.
Well, taking up the top once again from Ross. Oh, now through Kelly, who leaves that one behind. So give another chance for the Waratahs to respond. Bryle. Shifting it right inside to Lange, who's been quiet by his standards today. Hill will pick and go, but loses his footing. About 2 away now. Slow ball coming. Therefore, Funua. Lange's from close quarter. Lange's over. And Edwin Lange scores for the Waratahs.
And he did it last week, he'll do it again. He is so dangerous from that position on the field. But a really poor exit from Queensland there. It's the captain, Marshall Lemaitre, who gets the strip. And then they go to work. The forwards aren't bothered. It's all about getting that ball out. They know what's coming. And Edwin Lange steps in, gets under, gets the drive. And that is so hard to stop, especially with the post right there. Again, it's Pritchard who's in defending around that pillar. You need your forwards in that spot. They're the ones who are trained to stop big men like that. And they don't come much bigger than Edwin Lange.
The extra 2 is good as well. And the Waratahs regain the lead here in Brisbane. 12 points to 7, 32 gone. It's a work here, as you mentioned, the captain setting the tone.
Absolutely, and that's where that wet weather just makes that possession of the ball so much more important, where you look to palm or hold people off. You've got to put 2 hands on that ball, otherwise that's what will happen.
Good exit from the restart for the Waratahs. So ebbs and flows of this matchup.
Yep, and the Reds have defended bravely so far this game, especially with a man down. Not to let in points will be important, but we've seen probably similarly in Friday night's game between the two teams how quickly it can turn if you keep putting yourself under pressure in those areas.
The Goldsborough on a hard line. Loses his footing, gets hit pretty hard on the way down. Good charge up towards the 50, playing advantage now for Bowman. Looks right, then shifts it left-hand side through Harris. Harris keeps his feet nicely, does Big Kenny. Now he loses it, will come back for the advantage.
I agree. We have head contact with player was falling for mitigation. Penalty only.
Cop a bit of a high shot there on Frankie Goldsborough, the captain in the 13 jersey for Queensland. Thought that the falling might have been mitigation to let that play on, which is exactly what Tah's captain is trying to ask. But nonetheless, the Reds will have an attacking line out, 22 metres out. Great opportunity to hit back.
Half-time's approaching, and the Reds find their second score. Ross takes that one successfully. Now they break off right-hand side. Oh, the front row trio back inside to Kaluta. That's special from the Reds down the edge. And Elan gets his 5-pointer.
Well, that is straight off the training paddock. Kluter, Grenfell probably didn't expect it to be that easy, to be that unmarked. There's only one person there. They've done a great job, Levi Slater, of drawing in the people around the maul. And then a lovely offload back. Just see Slater does his job, gets around at the front of that maul there. Grenfell, a nice job to push it through. Far Jones doing a valiant effort to cover. Too many numbers and no Tars jerseys in sight.
Great skill there from John Grenfell, the hooker. But Elan Kluter showing all his class and finishing ability. 12 apiece, lineup for the lead. Hits it cleanly, hits it well. And there's two more, and the Reds are back in front.
And that execution is so good. But moves like that go straight back to the drawing board from during the week. The Reds coaching staff would have identified there the lack of defenders around that blind side, around that 5-metre train tracks. But really well executed from the players.
So 14-12, but just like that, the Reds can't lock in that restart. So the Waratahs with time on the clock and a chance for more points. Lungi. Aussie 20s powerhouse that he is. Brennan at the back door for Dean. Now one more on the outside to Jarks. Gets the fend pumping on Tucker. Blank looking for options. Finds his big lock through Brennan. Dean again on the inside for Far Jones. Who's looking to get involved. Pops it away. Looking for Fanua. Can't find him. And the Reds are back in possession through Pritchard. Sends it down the throat there of Louis Fenwick. He beats the first and pops it away to his winger, Far Jones. Inside the 22 he heads. To Blank, setting up the platform for Fanua, who gets whacked from his opposite number. Dean again, Fenwick. Look to play at the back door, nothing doing for the fullbacks. It takes a hit. Hill winds up. Blank wants to go over the top, and he just want to sit. The bounce is kind, the bounce is pinpoint.
And I really like that option. The Tars throwing a lot at the Reds there, but probably just without that forward momentum. They're trying to go at the back, they're trying to go wide without really putting any dent forwards. Tough in this conditions and getting a lot of double tackles. So Blank says, you know what, let's put them under pressure again, send them to a 5-metre line out. What a kick.
So Bowman fires it away to Kelly and does what? Hold on to it this time. Pritchard just wastes no time and just clubs that into the stands.
So we see Luca Cleverly there coming off the field. He's been grimacing at that shoulder, probably an AC injury there.
That one's batted down to the captain, Lemaitre. Running out of room are the Waratahs and Mayberry. Into touch he goes.
Great defence there from Queensland. Started in the line out, disrupted their set piece play there. Lemaitre had to go to the blind side. Mayberry went one more time and Levi Slater was there to meet him.
Graham takes that successfully. Now the try scorer, Kaluta. As halftime approaches. But the Waratahs break down pressure. And the Reds again fail to exit.
And again, it's Tyler Mayberry in the number 2 jersey for New South Wales. And see how good he does at showing that clear release, but then getting himself forward, throwing himself at the ball and getting a latch on. Important to note as well that both those turnovers he's earned so far have been on the Reds exiting. It puts so much more pressure on it than when it's rather your end of the field, then you're just saving the day.
He makes up for his error straight away. Does the hooker. He needs to get this throw right. Goes to the front. Bryle through the fingertips. And again they cough it up. And Kluter will be the man who dives on it. Parkel. What will he do? He'll shift it out to his good mate Pritchard on the outside now for Goldsborough. Looking to stretch the legs on the outside. He gets clipped up in the end. And struggling to win their own ball are the Reds. Lemaitre goes quickly, taps and goes. Tries to catch the nappy. Now he needs some help. Coming through is Fittler. And it's going to be a loose hand and a knock on as well. So it's getting scrappy here in the wet.
Yeah, you love to see chance in the arm from both sides, but they need to start playing the game. Queensland, 2 minutes to go. You don't want to be having a go like that from your own end and not executing, getting stuck there. Far Jones with a really strong pilfer. But then equally, Lemaitre, you've got 30 seconds, you've got the penalty. Kick into the corner and go for it instead of going isolated, doing that quick tap. And Frankie Goldsborough forcing the knock on there with ruck pressure.
That's the experience that maybe these youngsters lack at this stage of their careers, those little moments. As half-time beckons, and Bowman will keep things moving for Pritchard. He sends a long ball at the top for Howard. One-on-one with Far Jones. With some help of Jarks, wraps him up. So Kluter ends up with it and hits the deck. Parkel straight into Fittler, he goes. Grenfell. Big whack there from Lemaitre from the side. Play on for Bowman. We're on referee's time. Pritchard against the hooker on the outside. He's going to win that race 9 times out of 10. And Pritchard now looking for support. Finds Howard on the left-hand flank. Howard shifting his way through the Waratahs defenders. Can the Reds finish with one more? Bowman away for Kelly. Ross. Dumbing there from Bowman. And he's knocked on in the process. Or after all that, we'll head to Oranges here at Ballymore Stadium. And it's just 2 points the difference. The Reds leading the Tars 14 points to 12.
So another season excitement is off and running. Oh my goodness! Here we go! Fantastic skiing.
Unbelievable scenes.
Where on earth did he find that one from? Big hit made. What an absolute scorcher. This is something else. That is nothing short of magnificent.
My mind, it hasn't been right. I'm afraid, but I can't afford to be afraid.
Most people's first instinct is to run from danger. You ran right towards it.
Who are you?
Memory of a Killer. Stream now, only on Stan.
Is that?
My brain just exploded.
Down we go!
Oh, wow. So hungry for the gold.
Down we go! She's the Olympic champion! Oh, that's spectacular!
I promise to protect this family.
I got you.
Everything I'm doing, what I'm doing for you.
We were brothers for life.
You can't trust anybody.
Sometimes the people that you trust the most can turn on you with no warning.
Family sticks together no matter what.
PFL 2026. 24 events worldwide.
The king has returned!
Featuring the biggest stars.
Shiva silences the doubters. Paul Hughes goes back!
With a singular goal. Give fans the best fights. More drama. The PFL 2026.
You understand how massive this is going to be?
How good was that? Brilliant play.
No man has ever beaten me.
Now I'm a little intimidated.
Guess what I got?
A restraining order from another recipient.
That's funny. It kind of is.
We've got some problems.
If you don't go to him, it'll haunt you forever.
In 2026, let's watch together on Stan.
Let's go.
Good morning, folks. It's a lovely day here in Portland.
100 miles an hour. Power making moves from Auckland.
All 5 lights are on, and we got green in Mexico City.
In the darkness. Trouble!
He's going to stay low over the next jump.
Spectacle in racing. 300,000 plus in the stands today. We've seen it all. Are you kidding me?
Great to have your company of live coverage of Super Rugby Next Gen from a wet and wild Ballymore Stadium, but the action on the field has been electric, to say the least. And it was a fast start for the Waratahs, Liam Wright.
Yeah, it's pouring down, but no one's told these two teams. Toby Bryle getting us started with a great carry before his big man Aaron Brennan comes in, gets low, and takes the pick and drive. A really good start from the Tars team to get themselves going forward, but from there it was all Reds for a little while. A break from Kingsley Ace comes through, then the backs do the work, picking off the shooting defence, and Nick Liner finds himself over the line through a huge gap. Then the Tars forwards come back to work again. Edwin Lungy this time joining in the party. The pick and go proving very effective with the tired Reds forward pack there who've done a lot of defending. And then this one is just straight off the training paddock. Watch Levi Slater at number 25 doing his job perfectly. And then the interplay between Cluter and Grenfell in 7 and 2 makes it look all too easy. No Tars jerseys to be seen.
You see the breakdown. It's just the goal kicking that separates these two sides. 14-12. Lana having a good day as well off the tee. And Liam, we're getting some good pay out of that combination between Pakeho and Pritchard at the back door. The shape they're playing is getting some good momentum.
Yeah, it is. Well, you saw earlier, probably getting used to conditions a bit, and the Tars shooting defence was getting in the way, slowing it down heavily, but they've taken that little bit of a step back. Their forwards are getting that momentum forward for them, and then they've got so much trust. You look at that back line there, Dre Pakeho, Traven Pritchard, Frankie Goldsborough, all have played together at some point through school there at Churchie, so they're used to each other, they trust each other. We saw it on that last phase where they went far wide when they could have just kicked that ball out, and it's paying dividends for the Red side.
The rain is pouring here at Ballymore Stadium, but the action will continue on the other side. We have second half action, the Reds and the Waratahs. Just about ready to roll here for second half action. The Waratahs back on the field. Wet conditions here at Ballymore Stadium. Just 2 points the difference, Liam. It's anyone's contest still.
It sure is. The Tars have probably done the better job in that first half of playing in the right part of the field. A lot of territory, forcing the Reds to exit a lot and forcing some errors and turnovers out of those exits. That's where they've got a lot of pay. But the alternatively, on the other hand, the Reds are probably getting more pay through their general play. We spoke about Parkeo, Pritchard and Goldsboro in that back line particularly, just doing such a great job of getting that ball through the hands, short little passes and finding their way up the field.
And the Reds have the lead, and they played with 10 minutes of the man in the bin as well. So both sides need to keep their discipline. And this man, the skipper today, has been leading from the front, Frankie Goldsboro, a good talent.
Yeah, he has, and he's working his way into getting more involvements from that 13 channel. You can see with a few strong carries, but equally some really strong block lines there. Often tough for those outside backs in conditions like this, but so far so good, and a couple big hits as well.
So the second half for Super Rugby Next Gen. The Waratahs and the Reds from Ballymore Stadium in Brisbane. 14-12 your score. Both sides looking for the crucial win in this tournament. Playing for spots in that green and gold jersey later on in the year. As the Tars return serve, the aerial game really becoming an important factor as Far Jones goes high. Now Fenwick puts it on the toe for Howard, who shapes to his right, now shows his speed on the flanks. Lemaitre around the bootlaces, wraps him up, ball and all. The reinforcements on the field for the Reds. Trevor King, a bruising body, alongside Jacob Job as well in the 17 jersey. So all new props coming on for the Reds is Bowman. His box kick. Pretty deep, but Fenwick gets it on the bounce. Not his best up and under of the afternoon, but it is Grenfell, the hooker, leaping high. So Pritchard now at first receiver, forcing to go on his left foot and wrapped up there from Brennan. So slow ball coming for the Tars. Now through Ross. Kenny Harris, a man from the GC. Kluter. Fitler jams up on him. That second try scorer for the Reds, Elan Kluter. Pritchard has to just shovel it away to Goldsboro. He does well to scoop it up eventually. And the lines for the Waratahs continues to be on show, putting pressure on the men in the maroon jerseys, forcing Bowman to do this as he clears it away once more. Over track there and from Fenwick, and Tucker now will scoop it up. So here come the Reds hot on the attack. Grenfell, a tough line, pops off the deck, now for Ross, and he drops it over the line. Will Ross. It would have been a sensational try from the forwards, but the cover from the Tars saves the day.
Great line here from Grenfell, just getting himself behind the defence with an unreal pop-off too. Bill Ross thought he had the line in front of him. Just spilling the beans. But that's the type of footy you get to play, Geordie, after you put in the kicks like Bowman did. Put yourself in the right areas. It's so tough to take high balls in these conditions. Tucker gets to jump on that ball, and then Grenfell gets to run on with some momentum.
There's Louis Fenwick coming across in the end for the try saver. So the Waratahs on their own try line. Has some time as Dean leans on that booming boot. Bit of wind to contend with as well for these playmakers.
It's always hard in these conditions. The teams train in the dry. They want to impress. They want to throw the ball around. But it's a smart, deft little kicks like Bowman just did, like Dean's exit there, that are going to put you in the positions to be able to do that.
There's Harris Loves that one. Down eventually. Lands in the arms of Pritchard. His job. Lose control and Matra ends up with it. Part of the North's first grade side last year in the shoot shield. Now down the fringes, dummy and go. For the Tars out wide. Blank goes digging for it. Lungy shovels it on nicely. Dean, one more on the outside of Fenwick with some room to move. Jux looking for Far Jones in some clear space. Far Jones dummies. And Pakeho wraps him up in the second attempt. We're playing advantage still. Steaming onto it. Big Cooper Green. Fresh onto the park. Lungy waiting for it. He gets splintered from the Reds defenders. Come back for the high shot.
That's more like it from the Tars team. You can see the depth that Dean had on that ball. The little pass there at the back of the pod from Edwin Lungy. Thought they were maybe guilty of just going too lateral, too sideways, but when you've got guys like Far Jones out there, Jacques, they can really add pace onto it quickly and get themselves their own momentum. There's Green adding some pace as well. That's the real change we wanted to see from the Tars Next Gen side after that first half.
One out, one out, one out.
Fanua takes that one cleanly as the rain continues to steam down here at Ballymore. It's at the back there of Mayberry. The Waratahs in control, 5 away. But Blank forced it, shifted away to Fittler. Fittler's gonna back his size and head towards the try line. But Pritchard says, I'll take that one. He gets it ripped off himself in the end.
Skipper's good and then knock one by Red.
So all the good work comes to nothing, and the Tars will wind up and go again.
Some great maul defence there firstly, but this becomes a really tough place to defend. A centre field scrum. Tars will load up a couple on each side, probably some backs directly behind the scrum. Thought the Reds backline, Pritchard and Pakeho were going to try and drag Fittler over the line there, hold him up, force a goal line dropout. But a strong strip, all to be undone.
So you got Dean and Fenwick behind the scrum, Jarks to the right, and Fittler to the left. The hardest spot on the field to defend. What can the Tars conjure up here? Blank wants to go left-hand side, wrapping around through Dean. Sends a long ball over the top to Far Jones. 1-on-1, and Far Jones will win that battle over Liner.
Far Jones is probably the name we didn't mention there. Slightly off screen, but with pace like that on the edge, makes it even harder to defend. You can see the Tars do a great job of going with the wheel of the scrum. That allows Dean that space to take it to the line, draw in those outside men and throw that lovely long pass. It's a tough tackle for Nick Liner there. You can see Alfie Bowman has to commit the 9 from Queensland there, which just creates one-on-ones. And Far Jones has the strength to stay up, skip out the tackle, and a nice finish in the corner.
Two legendary families going toe-to-toe on that occasion. Far Jones and Liner. And this time, it's Tom in the sky blue coming up on top with a 5-pointer of his own. 17-14, the score. And from the touchline, absolutely ices it. Make that 19 for the Tars.
Great kick. And yeah, the reason that these centre field scrums are so hard to defend is if that scrum does anything other than stay straight, if it moves slightly to the tight head or the loose head side, it takes one back rower out of the picture. If the backs follow the direction of play there, it really makes it a tough defensive challenge.
As the lead changes again in this matchup. A couple of bounces before Howard to elect to scoop it. Of course, his dad, Pat Howard, speaking of legendary Wallabies in this matchup today, but that one can't be controlled from Job. And now Fanua. And that's a uncharacteristic-like error there from Louis Fenwick. Sends that one to the stands.
Yeah, the right option there by Fenwick. Turnover occurring behind the 50-metre line. 50-22 was on. Would have been a great attacking play. Slightly overcooked it, but a good decision nonetheless.
And that one's pinched away. So again, Job gets his hands on it. It's going to be a full arm to the Waratahs.
Yeah, a little bit casual with that line out by the Reds. Great mirror defence there from that Tars forward pack. Cooper Green it is who gets up. And Job, always hard for a front rower not to throw that arm out. Look for the intercept.
Vanua. They go straight down. There's a bit of a cheeky arm there from the Reds in the air. So back-to-back penalties. They gave away 12 last week, the Reds. And again, the discipline an issue.
Yeah, and we spoke about playing in the right areas of the field. Penalties like that are only going to march you up the field. Makes it far too easy for the Tars to get down there. As you see Brosnan just getting that arm in the basket. Slightly too much. The rain really is pouring. And similarly, this distance is a tough one to defend. Sort of that 10, 15 metres out, creates that big seam between the back line. Forwards have to defend as if it's a maul. We could see the work Lemaitre can do if he wants to utilise that seam.
And that's what they do. The maul on display before Blank fires it to Fittler. He will take it just shy of the 5. The Waratahs looking for back-to-back scores here. Mayberry looks to do it on his own. Fanua picking and going. Again, the big men happy to go about their work here in these tough conditions. Fanua leaves that one behind. And the referee sees the knock on.
They were looking for the pick and goes that led to their first 2 tries. Fanua that time, trying to use a bit of late footwork. The head of Job just getting in the way of that ball, and when it's so slippery, that's all it takes sometimes.
So right in front of their own posts, the Queensland Reds. And Pacquiao loses it behind, makes an absolute mess of it, flicks it out the back door to Howard in their own end goal. And that's going to be a 5-metre scrum.
And that's an absolute mess, but it just shows, as I think now we can finally see on picture how heavy it's bucketing down in Brisbane at Ballymore. But again, it's that scrum opportunity that the Tars will look to make the most of. They went down Far Jones's wing last time, ending with a nice try.
So Kingsley Ace back onto the field for the Reds. His energy needs to spark the Queenslanders. At the moment, it's all about the Waratahs dominating territory, possession and the scoreboard. Now Fittler holds it up for O'Hara coming around the corner. But they read that like a book and they got in the way of themselves there.
Yeah, made an absolute meal of that one. An easy decision there for Goldsmith. Just see both running into the same channel. Sharks just getting in the way of the hole that O'Hara was trying to go in. Someone's missed their assignment there, and that's going to cost them dearly. Would have been a great opportunity to slide in a game where points are hard to come by.
Reaching for it. And running it in there was Brosnan this time. Bowman sends it away. Dean's back there in cover. Flicks it away nicely. Fenwick gets past Goldschmidt. Now has some clear real estate ahead of him. Before getting wrapped up around the legs there from Grenfell, who's having some sort of day out, is the hooker. Dean inside the 50, tries to plug the corner, looking for the 50, 22. Yes, sir, he says. On a string.
What a kick. Been searching for that one. A couple really smart ones that probably didn't pan out just to the 50-22, but that is a massive boot. Going from almost his 30-metre line and sneaking in on the angle between Tucker and Takeo.
It's going to be changes aplenty here for the Waratahs. All the big names coming on, trying to spark something. Dylan Simmons, Harper Strawn, Ed Baxter. So Brody Folks as well on the field in the 23 jersey. And they cough it up from the line out though. And away goes Kelly. Pakeo. Wobbly old exit, but finds the line.
And almost the same starting point there. It's a bit of a low throw there by Simmons on his first involvement. This sort of weather though, probably getting a little bit fancy in the wet. Need to just win the ball where they can.
So Simmons gets that one wrong in his first assignment. And it'll be short arm to the Reds.
Yeah, exactly what we just said. There's got to be a bit of smarts around controlling that line out. And you've got a new hooker coming on in conditions like this. His first throw is thrown under. And to ask him to go a contested one at the back is a really tough ask.
Folks underneath it. His first involvement is not a good one as well. And gives it right back to the Reds. So here come Ross. Now Ace Suit under a bit of pressure, shoves it away. The referee's whistle has gone. Give me a knock on there, Brody Folks. Was part of the Aussie 18 set up last year as well. So back-to-back errors for the Tars.
We spoke before about the Reds compounding their errors with back-to-back penalties. This time it's the Tars. Back-to-back their own lineouts thrown, lost, then dropping the kick. It's just an easy way to march the other team up there, especially when you've got that lead, and it's changed a few times already this game, Geordie.
Pulling out of the contest. And again, Kingsley Ace alongside Trevor King. All the power in that scrum for the Reds.
So look, both sides there really. I think it's the loose head side. Not sure if that's Nick Hill still on or Harper Strawn. They've gone down to their knee there. The Reds will be wanting to compound this. Had 3 or 4 areas that they've turned into really positive momentum. We wanted to punish the Tars for that.
So safe for Ross once again. He's a real pillar in this forward pack for the Reds. Grenfell has control of it. Itching their way forward. Taking him inside the 5 and keeping some good formation. Grenfell going for the pivotal score. And he finds it. John Grenfell gets the try and a bit of afters as well.
There's lots happening there. Your forward pack's never going to be happy when you get marched like that. A really strong maul from John Gorenfeld, the beneficiary. So we look back. I would like to see this again, whether there's the lifters closing that gap, especially at the front there, Kenneth Harris. I wonder if maybe on closer look they might be pinged there. But with no TMO available to us, they do the next best thing and just keep going forward. You can see the length they get with that maul as well, Geordie. Makes it so hard for any of those defenders to get to the ball carrier. Going to have to come right the way through. And then that Tars forward pack taking a lot of offence to that.
Well, it can't be a Queensland New South Wales matchup with a bit of that. Let's play on.
It's about time, isn't it? 60 minutes in.
So Nick Liner, a chance to take the Reds back in front. Tries to fade that one around, and he fades it well. Nick Liner, pretty handy off the tee, 21-19.
As we look again, see the tightness they get it around the front. Again, questioning whether they've blocked the lifter, but then you can just see that length that they get. Makes it so hard to defend.
So Twain to play. What a game we are seeing.
There it is. Grenfell just attaches himself to the back. Kingsley Ace, Bill Ross doing some great work. Tony Graham has come back on. It's a real forward pack effort there.
Back to live action now as Simmons gets away and again doesn't go to plan. Here goes the replacement hooker. Holyman tries to bump his way up towards the 22. But again, the Waratahs issues at line-out time. That one skied away there for Harris. Flicks it out there from Ace. Parkeo has a run this time. Bowman. Ace again. Getting scrappy and a bit loose around the fringes. We're playing advantage for a Waratahs hand in there. Ace. Always up to the task. Brosnan on a tough line. The forwards going about their work. Holyman now. So the Reds on the front foot. Kenny Harris again. Just works. Does that young man. Graham having a good showing in his first start. And as I say that, he makes the error.
That forward pack doing such a great job off those carries though. Just look at Graham here. You can just see the bump or the disconnect that they're getting between the Tars tacklers. The defensive line there would be trying to get double hits in, shoulders on, two-man tackles. That'll hold it down, that'll slow it and get the momentum back for your side. The Reds carry is doing a really good job of just bumping one off or getting between them or running such a strong line. We saw Brosnan's carry before, such a strong line that they're getting behind that defensive line and then attacking through the pace.
Huey Sharples on as well. Only player over 20. He's a crafty little scrum half. No one's chipped ahead. So Howard with Liner as well. The outside backs setting the platform for this man, big Trevor King. Graham again tries to steamroll his way past the Waratahs replacement trio. Harris again gets a hand free for Ace off his left foot. Ace pumps his legs as he always does. Back to the right they go through Ross. Parkejo at the back door. Flicks it away nicely there to King. Just one out stuff for the Reds, but keeping patience in the right part of the field. Holyman again. He bumps away from a couple of Tars, including Big Brennan. Pritchard wants his hands on it. Finds Parkejo. Holds it up nicely, Liner in the wing, and Tucker gets the try for the Reds. Oh, brilliance at Ballymore.
Now that's an awesome team try off the back of such strong forward carries. See here, Charlie Hollyman, hasn't he been good? Creating one-on-ones, that's what the forward pack is doing so well. Allows him to get past it, clean, quick, get that momentum. Then Pacquiao wants that ball in his hands. Liner can't believe how easily he slides through there, but makes the right call, not get carried away by white line fever, and gets it to Tucker. There it is, brutal efficiency. And then just slick hands, picks out the shooter. Huey Sharples it was, who's come out of the line. Makes an easy choice for Pacquiao to get it to Liner, and a strong finish by Tucker.
The late footwork there from Liner, just holding up Harrison Dean just enough to relieve the pass, and that man, this time he'll keep it right. But a classy finish from the Reds, and they score back-to-back tries.
And it's carries like these. You look at Hollyman, instead of going between, which is sometimes what you're taught, to go between two defenders, that's when you get tackled by both men, and that can really slow you down. They're being able to beat them one-on-one in the contact, and that just opens up the room for the back line.
So 26-19. 15 to play, still plenty of time. And again, issues exiting after points. We speak about it time and time again at all levels of the game. And the Reds unable to do that.
Sure do, and that can be costly. You look, Josh Takai coming on, potentially. We talked about the efficiency of the breakdown in that attacking area. Looks like might have been Trevor King there who was penalised for cleaning someone off the ball who wasn't involved in that tackle or that ruck.
Tayoni Tucker, the try scorer, getting a break. Oh, great showing from that young man. And the Waratahs line out has been an absolute mess, and then it gets clubbed downtown from the Reds inside the 22 as Far Jones has to go looking for it. And he won't find the line. So Liner, centre field for Ace back there. Howard offers the same out to Goldsborough, has to reach for it and gets taken down by Folks on the 50. 21 for the Reds, Cooper Stewart, replacement scrum half. And again, that backdoor shape, but a lucky one in the end as Pacquiao steams it up the middle. Ace. King. Around the legs there from Simmons. Pacquiao out to Pritchard. Tries to offer the same there. Now Stewart will pick up the scraps. Ball's available. And he finds a bit of structure here, the Reds. The ball's going everywhere. And it spills out the hands of the Waratahs. Now the Reds take your pick there, but it ends up with the sky blue before Sharples loses his footing. It's a real mess here in Brisbane. It's gone backwards. Now Ace has it. Ace with some footwork. Kingsley Ace now on the inside of Kluter. Kluter on his right foot. Gets away to Graham. One more over the top. King now for Takai over the Queensland Reds. Has he spilled it on the try line? We need sign off. Oh, this game has everything.
So he grounds the ball, and then he leaves it forward, but he grounds it initially first. Okay, try stands, he grounds the ball.
Oh, there's the try. They get sign off. Our assistant, Jessica Ling, says play on. And there's 5 for the Reds.
And after a really ugly passage, it turns into such a beautiful game. Kluter probably could have thrown that there, but how about that little deft touch there from Gray and Trevor King getting involved. Josh Takai said to have grounded the ball before the knock-on comes. But after a topsy-turvy battle of knock-ons and poor handling from both sides there, the Reds pull it together.
They've really kicked on now, the Reds. And Liner won't make the same mistake twice. What a second half performance it's been.
Slightly reminiscent of that Angus Bell try against France where the ball's flying everywhere and then the big prop creates the line break. But that offload there is something special, especially that one there by Trevor King. The Grains just able to float it over the top of the Tars defender.
Very close call in the end. Takai just getting there. As the Waratahs end up with it, now a chance to respond through Folks, who's got some speed about him, Brody Folks, on the inside. And guess who but Kingsley Ace. What a difference he's made since coming back onto the field. As Pritchard launches that one. And launch it. He does. And it's so close there to the 50-22.
So close. Metre or two in that one. What a great exit. You mentioned it, Geordie. Kingsley Ace. It's been renewed since he's come back on. His first stanza was probably more defensive oriented, but he's shown up in the right areas and great in attack here this afternoon.
Simmons to Bryle. They take those easy meters. Now Simmons off his right foot. Simmons needs to stand at the foot of play. Does so. Sharples is there for the assist. High shot there. Crossfield option, the space there, and Far Jones is the man they're after. And he ends up with it. Tom Far Jones against Liner again. This time Liner holds on. But still lie for the Tars through Archer, and then he throws a wild one, and Kaluta ends up with it. It's all happening here at Ballymore. Stewart, just outside the 22, will send it into touch, and that's an error you don't want.
And they would have loved another exit like the one before. Cooper Stewart just sending that one out in the full. Tars chancing their arm. They had the penalty advantage there. But really nice kick from Dean. Across to a flying Far Jones.
No one's charged down. And now the chase is coming forward. Simmons may win the race. It gets knocked back before going forward in that second attempt for the Tars. So no try will be awarded. Lee and the Waratahs line out in the second half. It's been well off the pace.
Oh, it really has. I think Toby Bryle at number 8 there is running that liner. He's been excellent in jumping himself, but especially with the new hooker Simmons, there have been far too many calls in the wet with competition right to the back. I think that was Brosnan who got up that time and stole it. They just need to take winning ball at the front, get themselves set up. They had a really nice march and maul about 10 metres out from this period last time.
Kenny Harris comes from the field. Will Pascoe on the 19 jersey for the Reds. Great showing from the big lock, Harris. He's been everywhere today. This time, Stewart gets a better perch than that one. He clears it away nicely.
Yeah, much better kick from the young halfback there. Getting his team out of trouble, and that's a game management you want to see. They're up by 2 scores. Just saw with the Tars in that last set piece, chancing their arm, trying to go for it all, win perfect ball at the back. They've got the scoreboard buffer. As it goes again.
Another error. They get a lucky escape because it's ripped away there from Hollyman. So the Waratahs do have possession. Sharples needs some of his spark here as the Tars are running out of time. 33-19. Up they go. Pakale's coming forward and he spills it. Back in the arms of Simmons. Brendan, now Dean. Need to find some points, need to find their danger men. Jarks is one of them. Luta around the legs. Strawn. It's slow and pedestrian at the moment for the Tars. Wilson goes in the scrum half. Chip over the top. Goldsborough flies high and wins that one. It was Frankie. Stewart's got time and sends it down the throat there of Harrison Dean. The chief playmaker needs to find something. Fenwick. On the outside, he takes it. No way through the wall of Maroon as it stands thus far. Jux looking for something to get going. And again, it goes at the back door. Archer's there to end up with it. Not going there from the Reds. Simmons. It's a real wrestle in these final moments. The Waratahs finding no success as it stands. They will get a lucky break here if the penalty.
And that's been a little bit of the story of the day for that Tars forward pack. Slightly out-muscled in those tight carries. You see that one there by Simmons where he's pumping his legs, he's moving, he's getting through, which looks promising, but the ruck speed that you get off the back of it for his backs to play off, for Dean and Fenwick and Jux to really get involved is just too slow. The Reds defensive line's allowed to set.
And we've made a change here, bringing back on the field Tyler Mayberry to try assist with these line-out worries. And it's a better outcome this time. Dean. In the midfield they go through Cooper Green for the Waratahs. 3 to play. Sloppy call in the end, but advantage is being played as Sharples takes that one. Bryle. Mayberry. Goes into his opposing hooker. Green. Another high shot. Advantage being played once more. Dean. Archer. Options for the Waratahs. They need points, and they need them now. Lemaitre wants to just tap and go, but he needs some help. Again, Toby Bryle, but he's met by a wall. Baxter. That's a good charge. Need to play some more front foot ball like that. Deans ends up with it. Fenwick. Archer pops it away nicely there. And offers the same, but lands on it as Ryan Heaton. And the Waratahs forcing the pass, desperation, getting the best of them. Still line up for Far Jones, 1-on-1. Sends on the inside to Mayberry. As we head into the final 60 seconds coming up of this contest. That one's gone backwards, says our referee, Archer. And wet conditions playing a part here, and Lemaitre. The Reds' defence has been so prominent all contest. Sharples again. Bryle, Dean, Lemaitre, good pass at the top. Archer, one more to Fenwick. And now for Far Jones for the final say. And at long last, they'll get the score. But it may be too little, too late.
And it looked far too easy in the end, didn't it? After so many dominant tackles by the Reds in the middle. Just see a slight bit of disconnect there between Pascoe, Brosnan and their outside men, Heaton, which allows the Tars to finally create those offloads. Just short ball, offload. And a great 2-on-1 by Fenwick to the pace on the edge, Far Jones. After what looked so comfortable from the Reds' defensive line in the middle there, they probably got a little bit complacent, knowing that the clock would be their friend.
And the extra 2 is good. But it won't matter because the victory goes to the men from Queensland. What a contest for the full 80, but it is the Reds holding on 33 points to 26. What a game, Liam Wright. Really had a bit of everything, didn't it?
It sure did, and no one told these two teams what the conditions were doing because they still played. They pushed the pass. They went for the risky offloads with a few of them paying off, but at the same time some great attritional wet weather footy being played. Reds defence probably proved a little bit too strong in the end, although the Tars showed some real nice turn of hand, and especially in those tight conditions.
This is how it got started in the second half. It was that 1-on-1 contest, but Far Jones, that would be his first of 2. The Waratahs looked the goods in this early on in the second half, but things would change.
It sure did, and the Reds maul that we saw was so deadly last week with 3 tries coming off it. Finally got involved into the game. Great take. All 8 forwards in there, and Grenfell doing a great job of just sticking to the back, trusting his forwards in front of him, knowing that they'll get him through to the line. And here it was. We saw the trademark strong carries from Holyman, which resembled the whole Reds forward pack for a lot of that game, allowing the space to open up, get the ball in the hands of Pritchard, Pakeho, Liner, and then a beautiful ball, a little in and out to Tucker on the wing. And this was a really special one. Ace to Cluter to Graham with one of the offloads of the day. Trevor King gets the ball to the pace. And Josh Takai, not long on the field, gets his try. Far Jones with his second in that left corner. Off the back of finally getting a little bit of breakthrough, a little bit of seamage around that edge, being able to throw those offloads, letting them stick. And he's the beneficiary.
The comeback from the Waratahs would fall short. As you see the final breakdown, 5 tries to 4. Liner was sharp from the boot, 4 from 5, and Dean 3 from 4 as well. So the Reds, they get the crucial victory over their arch rivals, the New South Wales Waratahs, capping off a sensational weekend of Super Rugby Next Gen. We saw a bounce back of almighty proportions yesterday. The Western Force taking on the Brumbies 32-19. And as we've just seen, a cracking game, 33-26 for the Reds. As we look ahead now to next week for Super Rugby Round 3, the Force and the Reds. That'll be a pivotal matchup, and the Waratahs will take the Brumbies. Both sides looking to bounce back in that fixture as well. It's been a sensational afternoon of running rugby here at Ballymore Stadium. We thank you for your company at home. Thank you, Liam Wright. And the Reds, they will leave Ballymore Stadium with smiles all round. A great victory over the New South Wales Waratahs. We wrap up our coverage here. Thank you for your company. Until next time, my name is Jordan Hughes. Bye for now.